Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. This is the weekly update on all of my vegetable growing progress for 2019. We built this grow light rack maybe 2 months ago at this point, and I'm trying to maximize the amount of food that can be generated from these 4 shelves right here, and I'm updating it on every Monday. I planted the cool season vegetables last week. That was in last week's video. They are actually have a frost protection cover on them this morning. It was like 35, 36 predicted low last night. I'm outside the city of Raleigh a little bit, so it's usually a little cooler here. And so any night predicted in the 30s, I'm probably going to put that little row crop cover over the lettuce just to be safe, even if they don't say we're going to get a frost. And we had a heavy frost here actually this morning. So I'm glad I put that on. I did flowers last week, some zinnia, some cosmos, planted a few herbs. I planted parsley, so not a few, just parsley so far, curly leaf and flat leaf parsley. It has not come up yet. The flowers are germinating pretty quickly. Peppers and tomatoes look fantastic. They're going to be in here another month before they go in the ground, so I'm going to start fertilizing them with the fish emulsion that I've shown in a couple videos. I'll link all that stuff below, but that's what I'll start using in here to fertilize those. I'll give you a close-up of these in just a minute. The thing that you didn't see, and I haven't talked about yet, was progress on microgreens. These are sunflower microgreens. I'll give you a close-up of these. These turned out absolutely perfect. I'm going to do some microgreen videos, but I had not done the microgreens on this grow rack yet, so I wanted to do a round, make sure that I kind of knew what I was talking about before I did it. I do have some experience growing microgreens, but I just wanted to make sure this technique I was going to use on this grow rack was going to work perfect. And these sunflowers are just beautiful right here. If you haven't tried sunflower microgreens, if you haven't tried microgreens in general, they're fantastic, nutrient packed. It's basically eating the seedling of anything. And these sunflower seedlings amazingly taste like sunflower seed. And it's just wild. You can use these in salads. You can actually cook them down and use them like you'd use any kind of other cooked green. Really, really tasty and very, very, very nutritious. And this was done last Tuesday, and I'm shooting this Monday morning. So this is only 6 days I was able to grow this. I'll probably be a couple, maybe 2 more days, and I can start harvesting these sunflowers. And if you want me to at some point, this is not a cooking channel, but I will show you how to use something like this. This is food that can be grown in normally about 2 weeks for most of these microgreens. This right here, these are really beautiful as well. This is a Russian kale right here, and this right here is a brassica mix. Brassicas are broccolis and cabbage and kale blended together. These are still a little bit small, but these were done last Tuesday, and I would expect within the next 4 or 5 days I can harvest these as well. And these taste really, really great as well. And then I did some peas right here. I crowded the peas a little bit too much. I put a few too many in here, so they ended up coming up on top of one another. There's a little bit of danger of having some issues by seeding it a little too thick, but these are still going to turn out and work out okay. But if you've never tasted pea shoots taste just like peas. It's really weird to eat the leaves, and the peas taste pretty much exactly the same. And what we do on these, we harvest them before they start to get their true leaves. We're just eating the first 2 leaves that come out on the seedling. When we start to see them showing signs of putting on their true leaves and growing, then we harvest them. The peas, we will let that first round of true leaves start. Those are really, really tasty leaves. You can't leave them much longer than that because they get kind of tough after that. But like I say, if you're interested in me showing you how I use these, I'll just take a photo of a salad I made or something like that and show it to you. So anyway, let me give you some close-up of the outside things and these things real quickly. So with the lights turned on the rack, you can see how nice these tomatoes have come up. I still need to thin these down to 1 plant, but they're starting to get their true leaves right there. I'll raise these light panels up maybe an inch or so over the next week and keep the light maybe 3 inches above them. The peppers are here, look great. Again, I got to thin these down. They're starting to get their true leaves as well. And both the peppers and the tomatoes will get fertilized today. I'll go ahead and use the fish emulsion for the indoor rate on the fish emulsion. I've got it, like I say, I've got it linked below. Make sure you use the indoor rate. When we're fertilizing seedlings like this, it is really, really easy to burn them. And so make sure you use the lower inside rate on the fish emulsion, or you can really do some damage with fertilizer. This tray, this end of it is parsley, hasn't germinated yet, but the back zinnias have. And these zinnias up here are for the most part up. They were seeded last Monday, so not bad week over week. This tray of Cosmos has come up. Those were coated seeds in the back, and this group of Cosmos were not. So it's interesting, the coated seeds do come up faster. So that's a interesting observation in that tray. And then this is the brassica mix and the kale for the microgreens. The peas are there. And then these sunflowers are just really beautiful. This tray of sunflowers is really beautiful. The seeds try to stay on them, and so occasionally I'll just go through here and move the foliage around a little bit like this, and that knocks the seeds, the sunflower, the actual seed hull or husk off of them. These are lettuce bowls that I did in a separate video, and it's amazing how fast these just start growing. You put them in a container like this, give them some fertilizer, which I use the fish emulsion fertilizer on them, and I'll do that weekly. It's amazing how fast these just get to growing. Over here in the garden area, everything will take really a week or two to get themselves anchored in the ground, and then they'll take off pretty quick. Some of the peas have grabbed on to the frame at this point, and they'll start growing up it. Some of the others I'll have to go in there and put them up on it, allow them to grab a hold of it, and then they'll cover this frame pretty quickly, this little fence area. The lettuces were all covered with the frost protection blanket, and the spinach and kale and that kind of stuff last night. And I'll take this off. The sun is coming up right now, and I will take this cover off here in the next hour or so, and then I'll drag it back over them tonight. None of this has really grown very much. Like I say, when you plant something in the ground like this, it seems to need a week or two to get itself anchored, and then it'll start to put on all that growth that we're looking for. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I do these updates every Monday, and like I say, I will be shooting some microgreen videos as well, showing you how I did that. Thank you very much for watching.